Listen, they don't want me saying this, but I gotta say it. I'm gonna break down 8 motorcycle club secrets they will never admit. Presidents who are figureheads, support clubs who put in more work than the actual club they support. Feds inside every major club. If you're wearing a patch or thinking about it, you need to hear all 8 of these. Let's get into it.
We run the night. We run the night. Run.
Big shout to the Ghosts and the Ghost Sets. I'm Sos the Ghost. I'm your host for the evening. Let's get into it. Number 1, the president does not run the club. A lot of people think the president of a motorcycle club rules with an iron fist. He has the last say in everything. In some situations, this could be true, but it's always because other higher-ups are aligned with him. There's other situations where a president is a figurehead and a VP or a sergeant of arms is the one who really runs the club. You might think to yourself, how is this possible? He's the president. He's at the top. In 1% clubs and outlaw motorcycle clubs, we have what is known as the board. The president, vice president, sergeant of arms or enforcer depending on the club, secretary, and treasurer. So in power dynamics, if your VP is best friends with the treasurer and the treasurer is close to the secretary, your VP is the strongest member because he has 2 votes plus him make that 3 votes on every 5-man vote. To me, you do need structure, but I think you have to have true transparency. There's no reason why 5 members should be talking privately while a whole chapter of fully patched members are waiting for them to come out of the back room and they've already made all the decisions for them and they're basically just dictating it at the table. I know I was a sergeant of arms for many years and I said we should put things up to the body and vote. Let me know what you think. Number 2, sergeant of arms only answer to the president. The sergeant of arms and the MC is the protector of the president. The VP is considered the number 2 guy after the president, and the sergeant of arms or enforcer is the number 3 guy. Now, some people may think that the VP is number 2, so the sergeant has to listen to him. No, he doesn't. The sergeant of arms only answers to the president, and when you go out to an event or anywhere, he's the leader, making sure the president gets in safe and gets out safe along with the club. The sergeant at arms will go into a spot in front of the president to see if there's any signs of danger, if there's any enemies, anything to look out for. If you ever go to a bar or an event and you see 2 presidents from different clubs talking, you'll notice they have an intense looking individual standing right next to them. That is the sergeant. And when the president steps, he steps with him. The sergeant is a position where it's difficult to have fun at parties or events because you're basically a bouncer or a security guard for the president. So if you get offered the position of sergeant, understand if you're used to hanging out with your old lady at parties, that ends once you get that position. Your sole duty is the president and the chapter safety. Let me know in the comments in your club, what position do you hold? Number 3, women can run a 1% club. This might be the craziest concept in the world because in a 1% club, women have no voice because they can never be a member because it's a men's club. But here's some nuance. There's a lot of emotional decisions being made by a president. 9 times out of 10, he's not just acting out of female nature. His confidant is a female. His old lady. Believe it or not, you see these dudes acting like females is because that female is in their ear. The truth is, most gangster dudes you would think would be in the house like, yo, go make me a sandwich. In the house, the woman is more dominant and she's the one that runs the show. Think about it like this. Do you know a president that his wife is always there? Not just a little bit, she's always there. I'm telling you right now, that dude is a master pillow talker. If he's chilling with his brothers and she always has to be there, something is off. She is in control. He's more concerned with having her tag along than club business. So when he's finished talking to you and he gives his lady a recap and they cuddle together, she is giving him emotional advice. And I'm not saying you can't talk to your wife about anything involving the club, but you should not be making decisions with a woman about a men's club. Bottom line, don't ask chicks for advice about grown man shit. Number 4, support clubs could be dirtier than the main club. This is one of the biggest secrets in the MC world, and the average person on the street has no clue. Everybody thinks the 1% club is the one putting in all the work. But if you know anything about staying out of prison, you know how this game is played. The big club the one with all the eyes on them, the patches you recognize instantly. They're protected by distance because when the heat is on, you can't afford to be sloppy. So guess who has to put in that work? That's where the support club comes in. See, a lot of people think support clubs are just junior varsity, some soft crew trying to earn their way up. Nah, in some cases, they're the workhorses, the frontline soldiers. They're the ones collecting the money, doing the checks, sending the messages, and handling problems. Because if they get caught, it doesn't fall back on the main club directly. Let me say this clearly. Support clubs are not always trying to earn a patch. Some are purposely kept in that role, strategically, locked into a permanent position where they're expected to move like soldiers with zero reward. They'll never sit at the table. They'll never wear the top rocker, and that's by design. Because if they're loyal, they'll do anything for that club, even if they're not officially in. So next time you see a dude wearing a support patch, don't assume he's just trying to be somebody. He might be the one handling the dirtiest business. Let me know in the comments what your perception is of support clubs. Do they get respect, or are they just being used? Real quick, if you enjoy MC culture content, smash the like and the subscribe button. Give me a pound wherever you're from. And get your Ghost of Ellie mask, shades, Demons Row snapbacks in all colors, tank tops, crew necks, track races. We got it all, and you can get it on www.demonsrow.com. Let's get back into it. Number 5, the prospect might be the realest member in the club. Let's talk about one of the biggest truths in the MC world that no one wants to admit. Sometimes the prospect is the realest one in the whole club. Yeah, you heard that right. Just because you're new to a club, don't mean you're new to life. Everyone loves to clown the prospect, make them get the drinks, clean the bikes, stand in the rain, watching the bikes while the rest of the chapter is in partying. And yeah, he's at the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to rank. But when it comes to heart, when it comes to loyalty, that dude might be stronger than the patch members he's serving. See, the prospect is hungry. He hasn't been poisoned by the politics yet. He's not chasing status or caught up with power plays. He's just trying to earn his patch and be part of something bigger than himself. And because of that, he's watching everything. He's moving right, and he's catching all the snakes that those older members are too jaded or lazy to see. I've seen clubs fall apart because the patch members got too comfortable. They stopped showing up. They started running their mouths. Meanwhile, that quiet prospect in the corner, he was the one picking up the slack. He was the one putting in the real work, even if nobody was watching. And I've even seen the full patch members take credit for the work the prospects put in. In some clubs, a patch member gets a pass just because he's been around long enough. And that does not mean he's riding for the patch the way a prospect is. The truth is, the patch doesn't make the man makes the patch. And sometimes the rawest, most loyal, most dedicated soul in the room has not earned this cut yet. So ask yourself, who's really repping your club? The guy with the patch on his back, or the one breaking his back just to earn it? Let me know in the comments, have you ever seen a prospect go harder than a full patch? Number 6, there's a Fed in every big club. This one's gonna piss some people off, but I'm just gonna say it because the real ones already know. If you're in a big 1% club, chances are one of your brothers is a Fed. Not maybe, not possibly, most likely. You think that's a stretch? Ask yourself this. How does the government keep hitting clubs with RICO charges decade after decade? Mongols, Vagos, outlaws, pagans, you name it, they have all been infiltrated. And if you read the court docs or watch those agent interviews, they'll tell you straight up, every major club has at least one informant working within their ranks. That is not a conspiracy, that is a fact. And here's the cold part. It's not always the loud, sketchy dude either. Sometimes it's the quiet one, the guy you trust, the one sitting next to you at every meeting. It might be that dude. They embed deep, they earn their rank. Some of them wear that patch for years, playing the long game while collecting evidence, names, locations, even club votes. Dudes in big clubs will be like, nah, not us, we're solid. And then boom, RICO drops. Clubhouse raided, brothers locked up. And it turns out someone was wearing a wire to church runs and sit downs the whole time. That's how deep it goes. And the worst part, it's not always the weak ones flipping. Sometimes it's the ones that were facing life and the government gave them a deal. Sometimes it's someone who was never even really solid to begin with, just someone good at pretending. If you're in a smaller club, this might not hit as hard. But once you get to that national level with chapters in every state and real power, you become a target. And Uncle Sam, plays chess, not checkers. They'll wait years to build a case that'll knock your leadership, your structure, and your whole foundation. Number 7, the strongest clubs have internal cliques controlling everything. Here's something that even some patch holders don't realize. Inside every powerful MC, there's cliques running the show. It ain't just about rank. I'm talking about tight-knit inner circles, childhood friends, prison brothers, family ties that move together like one mind. They got a separate chat and they're having their own conversations, and they control everything behind the scenes. You could be a solid patch member, always showing up, always putting in work, but if you're not in that inner circle, you'll never touch real power. These cliques have already decided who's getting promoted, who's getting shut down, and who's getting put out bad before the vote even happens. I've seen clubs where the national board is just the front. Real calls were made in garages and phone calls, not meetings. Dudes on the board answering to other dudes who don't even want titles. They just want control. Let me know in the comments, have you ever seen a club ripped apart from the inside by cliques? Number 8. Some clubs use brotherhood to trap you in. They tell you it's all about brotherhood, loyalty, you're my brother. And in the beginning, it feels real. You're riding with your brothers, sharing war stories, protecting each other. But what they don't tell you is sometimes that brotherhood is just a cage. Some clubs don't want strong brothers. They want obedient soldiers. You speak your mind too much, you're a problem. You start questioning leadership, suddenly you're on the outside. It goes from I love you, bro, to he ain't loyal real quick. I've seen clubs use that patch like a collar. You can't hang out with certain people. You can't leave town. You can't even grow without someone feeling threatened by it. But if you talk about stepping away, retiring, taking a break, that same brotherhood turns into gossip, threats, and exile. Let me know in the comments, do you think brotherhood is real, or is it just some manipulation in the cut? So now that you know the truth, how many of these secrets have you seen in real life? Have you ever watched a club fall apart from the inside? Ever trusted a brother who turned out to be a snake? Does real brotherhood still exist, or is it all just politics now? Let me know that in the comments. We got the new Demons Row hats in red. This is the first time I've worn red in, I don't even know, must be like 15 years if I'm not mistaken. But we just got the red hats in and I was feeling it, so I say, you know what, let me throw it on. If you like it, you could get it at www.demonsrow.com. It's linked in the description. And thank you for tuning in to Demons Row TV, the holy grail of MC culture. Like, subscribe, and comment. And oh yeah, we ghosting, baby.
Oh.